To demonstrate animating sprite sheets, we're going to create a new Java object. And this Java object is going to have to live somewhere, and it's going to live in a game loop. And we've covered game loops, and we're going to copy and paste a game loop we've done before. So if you take a look back at tutorial 62, one of the simpler game loops, we're going to copy that across and use it as our base and rename it as Sprite Sheet Activity 001 Java. Here's our extra activity class on our app roadmap, Sprite Sheet Activity 001. And to prepare it, if you take a look at the code, here we've got our game loop activity 003 from tutorial 62. Just copy it across and rename as before. You've got experience in doing this, and you can do the same with activity game loop 003. Copy that across into a new file, rename that activity underscore sprite sheet 001 layout Java, and make sure that in your manifest you've got your sprite sheet activity 001 class named activity class. So let's close our game loop activities that we've copied from. If you look at your activity sprite sheet 001, we've got a lot of the stuff from the ball trajectory, and we can remove that. So we don't need all of this physics for the ball. Let's delete all this. Screen info. That should really be an integer, so I'm going to change that to int. And I've minimized all of the member methods of the game loop. Apparently there's an error somewhere. Activity sprite sheet 001 layout. Well, we've just removed a lot of variables. So if we go through and continue to remove all of the ball trajectory calculations, nicely highlighted in red, so we can get rid of all of this ball initial conditions. And let's minimize the constructor. The game loop itself, the run class, the run method, we can leave it as it is. If we open up Big Delta, that also can be left alone. And update, the update function, we can remove all of the trajectory again. These two functions, hit wall and hit floor, we don't need them at all, so we can delete both of those. Draw, we don't want to draw the cannonball anymore, so we can take that away. Prep paintbrushes, we'll keep that in. Our converter from density pixels to pixels, we'll keep that in. Pause, resume, some statistics, and all these other methods can stay. We can remove hit floor and hit wall from our game loop. And right now, after all of that, let's see, still an error. There's still an error somewhere. Here we go. Just some hidden statistics. We don't need this anymore. No more errors. I think that's where I'd like to leave it at this tutorial. At this point, we've prepared a clear game loop for our animation sprite sheet object to live in. And you might want to save this game loop as just a blank game loop that you can use again and again for when you're creating new game loop activities. That's all for this tutorial, and in the next one I'll introduce the animated object. Thanks for watching.